Good morning, gorgeous souls. I hope you've had a great weekend and a great start to your week. And I wanted to dive in with the journey to authenticity, because often when we can start our healing journey, or we start on a particular journey thinking, yes, I'm going to honor my boundaries more, I'm going to show up for myself more, I'm going to speak up for myself, we don't necessarily realize the huge undertaking that we are navigating as we go through these processes as well. And so it can, I just want to explore or share some things that I've noticed through my own journey with this as well, to bring a greater, solace and understanding as perhaps you're navigating this for yourself. The journey to authenticity can be filled with feelings of loss, feelings of not belonging, and feelings of instability as we change the way that we have previously navigated the world from our role selves. And what that actually means is who we believed that we needed to be in order to be loved, belong and fit in, especially with our birth family and especially with our primary caretakers. So often for many people that's obviously our mums or our dads or both. However, most of the time this falls to the role of the mother. And so if you want to get clear on who you needed to be, or some of the roles or some of the rules perhaps that you unconsciously took on in order to have safety when you were growing up, you can literally journal on this particular question, which is, who did I need to be in order to be loved by my mum? And then you can also journal on, who did I need to be in order to be loved by my dad? And then you can also journal on, for greater awareness for your own authenticity, is who do I need to be in order to feel happy and authentic, or to be my true self? And this can be a really powerful process. Good morning, Jody. Great to have you on. This can be a really incredible process. For me, it was realizing how much responsibility and how I felt that I needed to be perfect and be successful, and all of these external pressures and these different rules that I had taken on. As I'm navigating further into my own authenticity journey myself, this morning I've done, and yesterday, it was realizing the impact of perhaps staying in situations or in relationships where we feel either guilt-tripped or manipulated, or we feel that we can't be our most authentic selves. And I'm currently diving into the world of Lindsay Gibson. She's an amazing author, and she also has a lot of YouTube podcasts and information as well. And she speaks specifically into emotionally immature people. And what this means is, if our parents hadn't done their own inner healing work, with, if you're my generation, majority of them didn't, and most of them were raised from parents that had experienced World War II, which mostly was authoritarian, controlling, and certainly, emotions and the nervous system and everything that we're finding out these days is definitely, a lot more information. And so emotionally immature people can't attune to their children. They need to only see things from their own perspective. And, I can definitely put my hand up here and say, yes, I've definitely been here and been in that experience, and still potentially go into those experiences at times. However, I'm a lot more aware, and I like to catch myself fairly quick these days, challenge the beliefs that are keeping me stuck in that perhaps immature response of not being able to take in somebody else's reality, or take in the reality of the impact potentially that I've had on somebody, even if my intention was good, but the impact, it's landed not the right way for somebody as well. And so Lindsay Gibson dives into a lot of this information that can be very helpful, but really understanding and taking time to understand the impact that others' behaviours, or perhaps that lack of attunement, either in childhood or in a current situation with a friend, has had on you, is a really, really important step. And often on our journey to authenticity, there can be processing of a lot of grief of past experiences. And one of the things that Lindsay Gibson said was that anxiety comes from a desire, or not being able to, denying our true wishes or our true desires or wants or needs. And depression comes from feeling that it's hopeless, that we can't actually be our most authentic selves in the world. And so when we feel that, when we feel shut down, when we feel we can't express ourselves, it makes sense as to why we may feel very apathetic in those situations as well. So I just wanted to share those thoughts. Often as we dive into this healing work, we have this great idea that, oh my God, I'm going to feel so amazing and I'm going to feel so empowered, I'm going to feel so confident, all of which is true on the other side. But as we're navigating it, there really can be these ups and downs, and it can be very, very difficult as we're navigating these things. And particularly if we haven't been through that before, or we're new to the experience, we can really start questioning, my God, is this actually helping me, or is this making me feel worse? And sometimes we can actually feel way worse before we actually feel better. And I don't say that to discourage you. I say that to encourage you to keep going if that's what you're experiencing or bumping up against. And I certainly know when my marriage broke down when I was 31, and literally it felt like my entire world, my friendship groups, there were so many things. And thankfully I was tapping into oracle cards at the time, and it just kept on saying to me, literally I would, out of the 64 pack like a pack of cards, I continued to get this, anything that is not aligned with your most authentic self will be dropping away. And that was very, very true and very, very accurate. And it was terrifying to my ego survival mind that it felt like this massive void and this massive emptiness, because I was in the chrysalis of, let's call it the metamorphosis process of becoming a new identity, or becoming, delayering, deconditioning all of these ways of being that I thought who I needed to be, whilst abandoning my truest and most authentic self. And so as we do that, it can feel very alone, because we've not yet filled that void with the new becoming. We haven't stepped into the certainty of who we are moving forward into that new identity, and it can be a little bit discombobulating. And many women find that they may go through this experience in midlife, or when the kids leave home, or if you're going through relationship changes, or perhaps even career changes. That transition phase can be very discombobulating as we're letting go of what no longer serves, what no longer is helping us, and as we're stepping into the new as well. So hang tight if that's where you're at. Please know I'm sending you lots of love. I'm going through my own processes, and certainly letting go of lots of grief, and processing that, and processing the impacts that situations and circumstances have had on me. And that gives us further clarity for what we desire, what we truly want in life. And as we let go of that, then we can get further clarity in our vision and alignment within ourselves to be able to take action on moving ourselves closer to living that in reality. Wishing you a great day and the rest of your week. Lots of love.